everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. As you can see, it's a beautiful day here in Tennessee, and in this video we're going to sit down. I actually have my table and my chair, y'all. We're going to sit down and have a garden chat, and we're going to talk about that garden is way more than just growing food. And I'm going to give you a couple of specific things that I want you to add into for your summer garden this upcoming season. Some things that I want you to think about and to incorporate, and I think that'll make your garden experience that much better. If you are new here, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee, and I love growing food, and I even love inspiring other people to grow food. I've been gardening now for the last 5 years. This is my 6th year gardening, but don't get it wrong. I had never put my hands in dirt before I started gardening. So I don't come from a lineage of gardeners. I don't come from, oh my goodness, I did it when I was young. No, I literally just started 5 years ago. And I am so passionate about growing food, even now more than ever. But gardening is way more than just about growing food. And we're going to talk about that in this video. And so if you're new here, I would love for you to consider subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of the community. I have one of the best YouTube communities on YouTube. We have been here rocking together for the last 4 years, and this is a safe place, a safe space for you to come and get inspired about gardening, get inspired about homesteading, and not to feel like you have to know all the answers. We share, we laugh, we cut up, we do all the things here in this space. And I always want you to feel safe being here, to be able to ask a question, to be able to say, hey, I don't know, and for you to be able to say, okay, I walked away knowing more than I did before I clicked on the video. That is what I hope when you join this channel. For those that have been here, thank you so much for making this a great place to be on the YouTube internet. So, y'all, I got my chair, I got my table, and so one of the first things we're going to talk about is when it comes to growing food. I remember when I started 5 years ago, here are some of the feelings that I felt. I felt overwhelmed. I felt ignorant. I felt I have no clue what I'm doing, and I'm not even quite sure how this is going to work out. I've told this story many times before in several videos about just because I think logically, I couldn't even comprehend how putting a seed in the ground was going to produce food. Like, it just didn't even compute to me. But over 5 years, I know that when you put some seeds in the ground, they're going to grow because seeds want to grow food, right? And so I was year 2 excited, still excited about gardening, but I want to talk about some things that I want you to incorporate this particular summer. And this is for when the times get tough and when it gets hard and when you're no longer excited about gardening, okay? There are days that I don't want to come out to the garden, believe it or not. There are days that I don't want to turn on the camera, believe it or not. There are days that I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just work. And so one of the first things that I want you to do for this summer is that I want you to find a way to make your garden beautiful. It sounds so simple, and you may say, girl, I'm just trying to grow food. I don't have time for the aesthetics. You the aesthetics person. Y'all know I love pretty things. I love cute things. I love aesthetics. I absolutely do. There is no shame in that. But I do believe there is power and there is a certain help and support that you get when your space is beautiful. And I think the garden is no exception. And so I have tried to be very intentional this upcoming gardening season to make my space as beautiful as I possibly can. One of the ways I'm doing that, I want to show you a new product that I have. And I want to thank Cyan Oasis for sponsoring this video. And y'all, wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. I have put in a wind spinner in my backyard in the middle of my garden. And oh my goodness, she is beautiful. So let me take you back to my husband and I actually putting it together, putting it in the garden, and you will see just how beautiful she is. And then I'm going to come back and tell you how this has already just blessed me so much having it in my garden. Y'all was so excited when this box arrived because you guys know I love pretty things. And when I first saw it and the colors, what I picked versus what I saw. The website picture didn't even do it justice. So the one that I chose is called Sunset Globe. So it's like a mixture of this bright, bold red and blue colors kind of mixing together. And y'all, it's so vibrant. It is so beautiful. And so me and my husband unbox it all. And I'm taking out the plastic while he's kind of getting the rod together and all of that. But you can see that color here. And I think it's just going to be beautiful in my garden. Like I said, they have many different colors and shapes and things like that that you can choose from. But I wanted something that was bold and bright that would stand out instead of something that was a little bit more natural. Now, one of the things about Sign Oasis is this. Sign Oasis is inspired by the Joshua Tree, which there's a Joshua Tree National Park in California. And so it represents the balance between resilience and tranquility. So think about when you go to your garden, it can be hectic. And this wind spinner, it kind of gives you a sense of calm, a sense of serenity, a sense of tranquility. I've had it almost a week and oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. Even while we were putting it together, the wind is blowing on this day, as you can see, and it was spinning as we were even trying to pull it together. I'm having to hold it so that we can even put it together. And y'all, it is actually handcrafted, which makes it even more special. The design is beautiful. The workmanship is beautiful. It's sturdy. It's functional. And again, having it sway in the wind. And oh, let me tell you this. It only takes like 3.5 miles per hour wind to get it to even move, which is not a lot whatsoever. So I can be in my kitchen and I look out at my backyard garden and I can just see it swirling around, and it makes me so happy. In terms of how many winds it can sustain winds up to 45 miles per hour, which is great. It was easy to get in the ground. You just tamp it down with a hammer with a rubber mallet on the end or something like that. And it goes in, and this is the final product. I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful. It is so peaceful. I absolutely love that wind spinner. As I said before, they come in so many different designs. Make sure that you click the link in the description box and go and check it out and go grab you one. Y'all, they are absolutely beautiful. And so I chose this space in my garden as a focal point, but also I wanted you guys to be able to see it when I'm walking through this back garden that I have. And then also, y'all, I can see it from my kitchen window. I can see it from my bedroom window, and it makes me oh so happy. Oh my goodness, it makes me so happy. It's something simple just like that that just makes the space pop. It makes the space beautiful. It is intentional, right? Gardening is more than just growing food. Growing food, y'all, is hard work. It is hard work. It is not for the faint. It is not for the weak. It's hard work. And it amazes me sometimes how people who don't grow food, and let's just say that you have some extra tomatoes or whatever like that you have, and you offer to give them to someone. I have had times when people are like, oh, can you drop it off? Can you bring it to me? And it's not that I mind, but for the most of my friends or people that live close to me are like 45, 50 minutes away. So let me get this straight. You want me to buy the seed, grow the seed, harvest the food, clean it up for you, and drop it off? Come on. Come on. Now, have you guys had any experiences like that? The least you can do is come out here and get it if you want it, and it's free. Free organic produce. Gardening is hard work. And so one of the things I want you to do this upcoming gardening season is to find a way to make your space beautiful. It does not have to be a wind spinner. I would love for you to get a wind spinner, and I would love to see pictures of your wind spinner. But it could be adding in more flowers in your garden. That's another way that I'm making my space beautiful. I grew probably 50% more flowers than I normally do. Just wait till you see the garden. I got a whole flower row, which I did that last year, I call it pollinator row in my outside garden. It's gonna be just a row of nothing but flowers. But I also have flowers in other rows, much more than I did before. I have more flowers in my high tunnel. Y'all, I'm flowered up. And even in my backyard with my green stalks, I have 2 green stalks that's nothing but flowers, right? And you may say, well, that is a waste of space. It is not a waste of space, again, because out of all the hard work that we do, you want to come into a place and you can see not only the work of your hands by the food growing, but it is a nice place. It is something that is pleasing to the eye. It is a place where you feel safe, a place where you feel at home. And so I want to know in the comments, what are you going to do, or what have you already done to make your space beautiful this summer? Don't just have your garden stuff and not have a space that is beautiful. Don't just have rows of potatoes and squash and all of that, and don't have a little spot that is beautiful, right? It could be flowers in the middle of your garden. It could be a pot of flowers that you put by the side of a raised bed. Something that is different than just growing the mundane food that we grow, that we use to feed our families, okay? So I want you to make your space beautiful. That's number one. Number two, I want you to have a place to sit in your garden. You can see here that I'm sitting down at my little bistro set, right? I got my little bistro table, my bistro chair. I've showed you guys this before. This is actually from Vego Garden. But I have chairs in my high tunnel. You guys have seen those. And I am going to put some chairs out by my outside garden. You want to have a place to sit in your garden. The sun is really bright, so I'm going to stand up just for a tad. So why do you want to have a place to sit in your garden? Because our gardening is more than growing food. I want you to be able to sit down in your garden and for you to get the peace that the garden gives you. Sometimes it's not all about work. Now, there's always work to be done. Don't get me wrong. But to be able to come and sit in your garden, to reflect, to look at what the Lord has done, to look at the work of your hands, to see that you are growing food for your family, and to meditate, and to just be at peace and quiet in nature. If you don't have a place to sit in your garden, you're constantly going to be running in and out from harvest basket to checking on stuff to watering. It's all work. But it's just like when you work a day job. At some point, you take vacation. At some point, you retire. At some point, you take a day off, right? To be able to enjoy what you've worked for. You don't want your whole paycheck to go to nothing but bills and you never can buy something that you want. Even for those that are on a small budget, isn't it nice? Like, let's just say it's your favorite ice cream. And let's say the ice cream is $10 a pint and you're like, I can't afford this all the time, but this one time of the year or on my birthday, I am going to splurge and get this ice cream that I want, or my guilty pleasure, whatever it is, because you've worked for it. And so it gives you a sense of, this is what I'm working for. And so I want you to have a place to sit in your garden. Get you a chair. I don't care if you just got to pull a chair, a folding chair. If that's where you got to start off, then start off there. But I want you to have a place to sit in your garden, and I want you to practice going out to your garden, maybe at the top of the morning before the sun comes out. If you drink coffee, maybe you're drinking coffee. Maybe you're reading a book. Maybe you have worship music playing. Maybe you just have the silence of the birds and the trees. But have a place to sit down in your garden. So, next thing, put in the comments below if you already have a space in your garden that you go to, or if you are going to instill this as a new thing, if you're going to incorporate it. I want to know. Put it down in the comments below. So I have my bistro set here. I have chairs in my high tunnel, and I'm going to be adding me another seating space, probably either in my fruit orchard or in my outside garden, maybe somewhere in between. And I've thought about taking my bistro set down there, but I think I'm gonna keep my bistro set here, and maybe I'll get another one. I don't know, because if I take the bistro set that I have back here, then I won't really have a place to sit back here except like a folding chair, which I guess I could do that. But either way, find a place, create a space for you to sit. And then number 3 is this. I want you, and this is for when it gets hard, because it's gonna get hard. Right now, we're in the honeymoon phase, right? We're planting out our gardens. It's exciting. We're evicting plants from our house. We're seeing the first little seeds, that we direct sow, trickle up through the soil, right? We're seeing things grow. We're seeing our tomatoes put on flowers. So it's all exciting. But let July hit. Let that sun come on down, right? Let the sun be beating on your back. and let the sun be tearing you up and you have nothing but baskets and baskets and baskets of stuff to harvest. That is when the work gets hard. And so what I want you to do right now is I want you to think about and answer this question: why do you garden? I think you got to come up with that answer, because when times get tough, and they will, you're going to have to pull and remember, why am I even doing this? There are times I'm like, now what, Barbara, you had 4 raised beds. Why did you go and create all of this bigger garden? Because that's just more work. Y'all, if I just had the 4 raised beds that I started out with, when I tell you I would get hours and hours and hours back, I would get hours and hours and hours back in my day. I probably wouldn't even have the Living Foods Farm. I probably wouldn't even have the website. And so when I think about the question about why do I garden, that is what keeps me centered. That is what keeps me focused. I garden, number one, to feed my family. Because 1, we can't trust what's in the grocery store. Number 2, the food supply, okay, it may be looking good right now, but trust and believe it's not going to always be that way. And we have these dips and ebbs and flows where 1 minute the food is good, the next minute they're recalling it, right? And so you have to take your own family's food security into your own hands. And so when I think about why I garden, why I created all of this space, why did I keep adding and adding, and I continue to add and add and add, is because I want my family to have food security, right? That is the number one reason why I garden. It's security for my family. Your reason may be different. It may be, this is my mental space to just get mentally sound. Like, it may be a mental relief for you. It's a stress reliever, and you need it because you have a very stressful job. It could be a way for you to pass time. It could be a great hobby, right? So that maybe you're retired and you don't want to be in the house all day, and it gives you a way to get physical. All of your reasons may be different, but I think you have to always know, why are you doing this? This is not something that you just click on YouTube and you're like, that look cool, she doing it, let me do it. Now, you may start that way, but eventually you're going to like it if you're going to keep doing it, because this is not for the faint of heart. This is hard work. So I want you to know, why are you gardening? I would love to put it down below. Put it down below. Tell me, why do you garden? And I want you to write it out. If you don't want to share it, that's completely fine. But I want you to write it somewhere and just say, I garden because, and then fill in the blank. Take that piece of paper, fold it up, put it in a drawer somewhere. Put it, maybe for those who like affirmations, maybe you put it on a mirror, on a wall, on a poster, on a whiteboard. Somewhere, if you want to see it all the time, then do that. If not, then fold it up and put it in a place where you know where it is. And when it gets rough this summer, I want you to remember where you put it. I want you to get the piece of paper, unfold it, and read it. And remind yourself, this is why I'm doing it. When the summer season does not go as planned, when you wanted 100 tomatoes and you only get 25, I want you to go back to the piece of paper. I want you to unfold it, and I want you to say, oh, this is the reason why I still got to try again next summer. This is the reason why I can't give up. This is the reason why I must keep going, right? There's plenty of times, y'all, that I wanted to give up. There's plenty of times I'm like, girl, why you do this? There have been times when I'm like, how were you a corporate executive and now you're a farmer? Those moments are few and far between. But I remind myself, this is why I garden. And even more so now, I believe this is what the Lord has called me to do in this season of my life. So yes, I garden to feed my family. But for me, I feel like now it's an extra calling on my life. And this is what I'm supposed to be doing in this season. I'm supposed to be growing food, and I'm supposed to be teaching other people how to grow food. So I want you to write down, why do you garden? So y'all, this is a different kind of video, but I think this is a great time to do it at the beginning of the season. Because when it's all hectic and when it's busy It's hard to think about these things. But at the beginning of the season, as we're about to ramp up into the summer, I want you to do these three things. One, I want you to find a way to make your space beautiful. Number two, I want you to have a place to sit in your garden. And number three, I want you to remember why you're growing food. Because growing food is more than just, garden is more than just growing food. There is a mental component that goes along with growing food, right? It is stress on your body physically. And so if you do those things, if you have something pretty to look at, if you have a place to sit, and if you remember why you're growing food, then it's going to help you through the tough times. I'm so passionate about growing food. But yet I recognize that it is difficult. I recognize that it's not always rosy. I recognize that sometimes things don't go as planned. I recognize that there are a lot of failures that happen in the garden before you get the lessons. I recognize that sometimes you're like, I cannot believe I cannot grow this and everybody else can. I recognize all of that. And that's why I wanted to do this video now. I want to encourage you. Don't give up. I want to encourage you to keep growing food. I want to encourage you to learn from the lessons that you see on YouTube, that you see from your own hands. I hope that this video was helpful. I cannot wait to see your comments. Make sure that you check the link in my description for the wind spinner. I cannot wait to see if you guys buy a wind spinner. Send me pictures in my email. They have so many different designs. I think that you will be very, very pleased and you will find something that you like. The one that I have is called Sunset Globe, and y'all, I am in love. I am in love with it. But thank you guys for joining me today where we just had a little chat in the garden. I hope that your gardens are going so well. Remember though, it is a journey. Let's do it together. I'll see you next time, friend.